She's taking a long trek along the road that leads you straight to the second gate. She had already beaten the first gate, and but our convoy was stopped. You've come this far, you beat the front security, and you beat the second one. How far more can you go on this? How far more can you go on this?
In simple terms, it's not about beating the first and second gates and barricade. It's about me and a duly elected senator walking into the chambers to resume my constituted duties as I was elected and mandated by the good people of Kogi Central and INEC. And it's unfortunate that we got in today, which is the 22nd of July 2025, having duly notified the Senate through 2 letters that I would be resuming functions today. As a matter of fact, I'm disappointed on 2 grounds. One is the number of armed policemen that we met outside, all well kitted with guns, charged at a female senator who is unarmed with her people here, patriotic Nigerians. And the second thing is the fact that the Senate, under the leadership of Akpabio, have decided to become lawbreakers and by denying me entrance into the chambers to resume my duty. There's been some conversations in the media by his own team trying to twist the narrative that the judge did not order my reinstatement, and I'd like to clarify that. You see, pursuant to Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution, it is very clear that decisions of a court comes in 5 ways. It could be a judicial decree, it could be a sentence, it could be an order, it could be a conviction, and it could be a recommendation. So an order is just one of the 5 decisions that a judge can pronounce over any case. And mine tilts towards a recommendation. Now you would think that a recommendation is a voluntary. That means the Senate has either they comply or they have the right not to comply. But I'd like to clarify that. Again, if you go further to the to Section 287, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, again, it actually specifies in clear terms that decisions, that's any of these 5 decisions of any of the possible on every authority. So what that means in simple terms, whether they mention that the Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court made an order or made a sentence or made a judicial decree or a recommendation, whatever, however they want to interpret the literal words, interpretation of the words, it is still a decision of a court and it is still binding on the National Assembly. The second issue that I have seen withering around the media is that the Senate appealed the judgment, and I mentioned it. I'm saying it clearly. Hamza, can you please give me? Where's Hamza? Let me have that page, please. Let me have the appeal. Let me show them the appeal. Now, this is the appeal that was initiated last week against Justice Binta Nyako's judgment. It is clear that it is not the National Assembly, neither it is the Senate. It's Akpabio himself. Read it. The president of the Senate. He is the only appellant. The National Assembly has not appealed that judgment. The Senate has not appealed the judgment. The Committee on Ethics has not, that suspended me wrongly, has not appealed the judgment. As a matter of fact, Senator Akpabio joined the clerk of the National Assembly, the entire Senate, and the chairman Committee on Ethics as joint respondents to the case. That means Akpabio has taken the National Assembly and the Senate and the clerk and the committee to court as well. Do you understand? That must be clarified. So there is no reason whatsoever, contrary to the publications I read yesterday, that I should not resume today because the Senate has appealed my suspension. The Senate did not. No, what I appealed is the contempt, and that is separate. The judgment came in 2 parts. One was to address the contempt, which is based on the satirical letter, which I made, or the satirical apology letter, which I made on Facebook, which the judge thought it wise in her own stride that amounts to contempt. But I'm saying clearly that does not amount to contempt of her court, because before Justice Binta Nyako was not the matter of sexual harassment, but the matter of suspension. And what I would say clearly, hold on, what I would say clearly here is me appealing the contempt does not in any way invalidate the decision of the court that mentions me resuming. And I'll say this again, in as much as the judgment, Justice Binta Nyako's judgment was the most watery of all the suspension judgments we've had, taking into consideration Senator Aline Dume's and Senator Magege's suspension. But there is one particular portion of her decision which I want us to hinge upon, where she mentioned that my suspension is actually excessive and that me being suspended for 6 months actually will prevent my ability to carry out my constitutional functions as stipulated in Section 63 of the 1990 Constitution. Now, what does Section 63 of the 1999 Constitution mean? That every senator in this and every parliamentarian is to attend a sitting not less than 181 days per year to carry out my constituted functions. And what are the constitutional functions of a senator? One, legislative, which I'll do in there. Second is oversight of the executive. And third is representative of my people. So that means what Justice Binta Nyako told the National Assembly is that not only is my judgment excessive, but it will also deprive me of carrying out my of which I was elected according to the Nigerian Constitution. That is Section 63. So that means my suspension is illegal. If you look at that, because anything that contravenes the Nigerian Constitution is illegal, and the National Assembly cannot be greater than the Constitution. They are now coming down again based on the appeal. Akpabio himself cannot be greater than the courts, cannot be greater than the Constitution. And I want Nigerians to know that the office of the Senate President, Akpabio himself, does not give me my legitimacy as a senator. The fact that he has gone on appeal himself does not invalidate the decision of Justice Binta Nyako and does not stop me from being a senator. I got my legitimacy as a senator today from the people of Kogi Central who voted me at the February 2023 election. So, me being the... Yeah. Well... The most important thing is I am proving to the good people of Kogi Central and Nigerians at large, especially the women who have continuously written to me that they have derived courage in my actions so far. Now, the fact that I've been denied entrance is a statement being made. Our narratives are being shaped, history is being formed and shaped, and policies, again, all of this work together through intentional actions like we have done today. It's on record that the National Assembly under Akpabio has decided to be in contempt of the court's decisions. And it's quite ironic because they are actually lawmakers. So that puts to question how far as democracy in this day and age. So, however, if we decide to turn our backs and go home, we are not ignorant of the fact that the National Assembly is most likely going to go into recess tomorrow for 2 months, and they will resume pretty much in the last week of September. And like you rightly said, that means they would have pretty much served the earlier 6 months suspension. I'm saying that because as of now, I'm no more suspended. And there's something very important I would like to say. Even the suspension ab initio was fraudulent because the document that recommended my suspension was not attested to by the senators, the members of the committee. It was just an attendance sheet that was photocopied as their signatures. And if we had to go through that, that means ab initio from the onset, the suspension is wrong because the documents, the recommendation itself was faulty. So that's having mentioned that. Going forward, I'm going to have a meeting with my legal team, and then most likely they'll have to probably proceed to the appellate court to seek interpretations of what has just happened. Law-abiding citizens, everyone here who has accompanied me, you can see no one is unruly, even though some have vehemently decided to express their dissatisfaction with the system. I am a law-abiding citizen, and it is very important I do mention, and Nigerians should know that even though we do have 2 federal government criminal cases against me, they are on criminal defamation, simply because I spoke up the threat to life. And everybody has a right to speak up on their threat to life. And Nigerians should know that I am not facing charges of corruption, I'm not facing charges of embezzlement, I'm not facing charges of drug abuse, and neither am I facing charges of murder. And it's ironic that the people who are actually testifying as witnesses in the 2 federal government cases have cases at EFCC, have files at EFCC on record that they have actually embezzled state funds running into billions. So it's really, let me say this, it's very important I do mention the flip of our judicial system, the flip of how institutions being utilized to oppress people who are innocent. If this is a country that if Nigeria works if our institutions are truly independent and strengthened, then there's no reason why some of these fellows who sit there as senators should even be in the Senate in the first place. They should actually be behind bars, and I'm saying that. And I do pray and hope that it is by my actions today and by voices of Nigerians all around, whether in the country or in diaspora, that we speak up and ensure that this injustice that is being meted against me, this persecution meted against me will not stand, so that their daughters will not suffer, so that their wives will not suffer simply because they spoke up against sexual harassment. And I'm sorry I have to mention this, because you see, people have wondered, Natasha, how come there's so much hate? How come you were suspended for 6 months? Just the day after you tendered your petition on sexual harassment, you were suspended. And then there was the fraudulent recall. We all saw how we survived a recall. And then there's been a whole lot of attacks against me, which by the grace of God I've survived. And whenever people ask me, Natasha, why is there so much hate from the Senate President against you? Why is it that institutions have turned against you, even though, by and large, you are pretty much one of the fairest senators or politicians in Nigeria? And I tell them, this is just an iceberg of what I have had to suffer and endure in the Senate under Akpabio's leadership for the last 1 year. Many of you thought that my speech on that floor, when I told him I was not afraid of him, and I did mention, I said, if you make me speak to the media on what I have had to endure in your hands, you know, it would go pretty. And that's to let Nigerians know that that outburst I had on the floor was just a compilation of so many wrongs that Akpabio has meted against me. And I will say this, pretty much it's a shame that we have had so many good Senate presidents. We've had Chuba Akpabio of blessed memory. We've had Senator David Mark. We've had Bukola Saraki. We've even had Ahmed Lawal, who is a senator right now. And I'd say this pretty much is the worst assembly Nigeria has ever had. And I hope we will not have to suffer this anymore, because it tells a lot on the individual. And I've said this before and I'm saying it again. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio, as if it's the third-term governor of Akwa Ibom. Many senators are afraid. You've all seen what happened. You are not allowed to speak. When you try to speak or air your views on certain issues that are critical, you get shut down if it does not conform with what he wants. So far, I've not been given any official reason. I've only read on the papers yesterday that I should not resume today because the Senate has appealed. And that is why I presented to you that the Senate has not appealed the judgment. It is Akpabio himself. He is abusing power by willing the entire institutions to fight me. It's a personal vendetta that Akpabio is unleashing. Wrong, because you can't have his own senatorial district deprive the Kogi Central of representation. There is just no reason why these gates should not be open. But by and large, considering the fact that the Senate is vacating tomorrow, whenever they deem it fit to resume, we would resume as well. So what matters most is all the pressures and all the calls of me apologizing for no wrong that I did. I have refused to do that. So if it means staying the entire 6 months for an unjust suspension, which I'm saying, repeating again, has been quashed by the courts, so be it. I have pretty much been busy with my constituents on the brighter side. You've all seen, we've been carrying out a lot of projects in the past few months. And that is true to my nature, because I am a technocrat. I'm a lawyer. I'm an oil and gas expert. My formative year in my career were in the oil and gas industry. So I got into politics because I wanted to create a different mark for other people like me who wants to venture into politics. I also got into politics because I want to intentionally raise the standard of leadership. It's enough for us in Africa to sit down and admire leaders or politicians from other smaller African countries, not talk of the European world and the other Western world. So I hope that with this journey so far, however it goes, people should muster strength from me, and I hope that 2027 will have more courageous, younger, educated, intentional leaders that will be elected into office, so that together we can change the narrative of Nigeria. And thank you so much for your love and support, Nigerians. I see you, I feel you. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Here. It's not just to stand and move away. 2 people have come here. They say they're security and they have left. Okay, why are you stopping us? Mister, why are you stopping us? Alpha, road not there. Why are you stopping us? Oh! Someone touch me! Come on, Roddy! Why this not talk like speak English? Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, Roddy! Come on, don't let them go! Police, don't step back! Police, don't let them use you! Step back! Don't let them use you! They are ruining our lives! Don't let them use you! Stand aside! Stand aside! Don't let them use you! They are wicked! Come on there! Don't touch her! Don't touch her! Don't touch her! What nonsense is that? Somebody on my phone! Don't touch her! Why are you stopping us? Is that not your girl? Is that not your girl? Come over there! Come over there! Now they crazy! Now go kill her! Now go kill her! The National Assembly belongs to all of us! This place is not Akpabio! Where is Akpabio? Where is Akpabio? Senator Natasha will resume! Ogu the kill her! Ogu kill her! Nigeria is one of us. Look at everybody peeping like slaves. I don't understand. Everybody they speak English. Nigeria police! God bless you now! See? Yes! Nigeria police they suffer! Rubbish! What nonsense! What nonsense! How long Nigeria will be like this? Now Akpabio guessing it! Now Akpabio guessing it! Our person in the country is too much! What nonsense! What nonsense! They speak English! What nonsense! What nonsense! Now go kill them! Now go kill the senators! When they see truth, they don't be talking! Now go kill the senators! When they stand, defend their rights! Shame on you, Nigerian senators! Everybody stand and speak English. Or good at kill now. Now go kill now. Everybody you see here today is ready to die. What nonsense? What nonsense? Now go kill them. What nonsense?
How much is their salary?
How much?
Tomorrow they're going to protest if some after 35 years. That is the country that we are. The situation was illegal. And this country is illegal.
They kill now. Everybody they speak English. Useless people. Useless people. They are the reason why Nigeria is where it is. Nigeria has refused to move forward. How can a woman inspector after 35 years receive 1.4 million naira?
And we are saying no to you.
How? How? And then you said the same police during the EndSARS protest, police was killed in numbers, but these senators were abroad. They have come again, they have said police better stand aside.
You are a staff of the National Assembly? You are the security. Okay, so may I know why a staff of the National Assembly will stop a serving senator from walking into the chambers to commence her functions in representing her people who have duly given her the mandate as elected and as sworn in through a duly issued certificate of return by INEC to carry out her constituted function. So may I know why a security from the National Assembly will stop a serving senator from walking in? And can I see written authority of your mandate to stand here right before me?
Can't hear you, sir.
Everything authority.
Not going to say anything.
Everything man.
We are here. We are not giving authority to allow her to come into the complex. That is our place.
No,
hold on, because
Please,
We want to know who you are and why you are here. On whose instruction are you here, sir?
it's okay. I've asked him the questions. I believe I deserve an answer.
You don't have an answer?
Where is the gentleman who stopped us first?
That is all.
You have no answer?
You have no answer?
I don't know. Why is it? Are you not them? Are you?
Why is everybody coming and going? If you
Why
do not
can they
have
not
an
talk
order,
loud?
can you allow the senator pass and resume her duties? What is going on? Why is the whole place
Why is everybody
militarized?
talking like a deaf and dumb? People cannot speak loud. He does not have an order. He does not have an answer.
Please, can we pass the gentleman? Please.
Please, no, we are not. No, don't push me. Nobody should push. We are not pushing.
nobody is pushing you.
No, you are blocking our senator.
Why are you here, sir? Why are you
Why are you
here?
here?
On whose instruction are you here?
Why are you here? Somebody should say something.
What exactly is going on?
50 million to release my cousin. Then you people are here saying.
Look at police. Yesterday, police were protesting on behalf of police. And today, you are here again doing an illegitimate job.
Illegitimate?
You cannot be serving the whims and caprices of one man. Senator Akpabio is not the constituted authority. A senator wants to resume her duties, constitutional duties. What exactly are you people doing here? You say you are not under instruction. Can you leave so that she can pass? In a National Assembly of 109 senators, we have just 4 women. One of them is the one going through this persecution.
Akpabio, whose election?
Gentlemen,
Can you just select?
The person that read the
Gentlemen, you're standing here. You're stopping someone from going in.
so what is it doing here?
You call yourself Nigerians. There is shame on your faces because you know indeed that you're doing the wrong thing. But you stand here and you say they gave you orders. Even if they give you orders as slaves, you should not behave like slaves. How do you, sir, stand here and then you go back home and meet your children and say to them that indeed they are citizens when you yourself have not shown that you're a citizen? You stand here, you're blocking a senator, a serving senator who is on our way in. The person who will make laws for your child to matter the way the child of Akpabio matters. But you're standing here and you're blocking because you have this that says Sergeant at Arms. You are behaving in a very unconstitutional manner because the National Assembly is supposed to be for everybody. And you know that. So you have said that here, you're not saying anything. Your people have come and left, you're not saying anything. You're afraid to speak. You stand here, you say you're a citizen, and you block the people who want to go in. Sir, look into your life and ask yourself, at this age, is this what you want to do? At this age, is this what you want to be? At this age, is this the Nigeria you want to see? Is this why you go home every day and say to your children that indeed you are building a Nigeria? You're destroying Nigeria. You're destroying the future of your children. And one day you'll be on the streets, you know, as a retired person, begging the state, begging people to come out to protest for you. Yesterday, where are the Nigerian police? The shameless Nigerian.
Sometimes I pity the Nigerian police because they are being used all the time to cause these issues.
Yesterday, citizens were protesting on their behalf, and as shameless as ever, they came out to stop them. And you stand here, you're proud of yourself, you're stopping, and you are
I just like how this Aisha
sent
is
you.
going all out to support Natasha Akpabio because the women in the Senate, I don't know whether they have turned to men. Because why would you see your fellow woman in this kind of issue that you know the truth? And the people parties, they know the truth. They are just trying to cover up so that they will be the good boost of Akpabio. So the Senate is no longer an institution. It's now Akpabio's empire. And nobody is seeing it because today it is not your... Today it is not you, or it's not your brother, it is not your sister. But wait until it's your turn. This life, when you see an injustice, do not support it.
It's not just to stand and move away. Two people have come here. They say they are security and they have left. Okay, why are you stopping us? Mister, why are you stopping us? Why are you stopping
Guys, have you seen how the National Assembly security is fighting with the people, the Nigerians who came with Natasha? Listen, Natasha came with not just her constituents, but every other Nigerian. See what is going on. Is this fair? Is Nigeria a country for a few? I want to know, because this is no longer funny at all. See what they are doing to Natasha, smuggling her into the National Assembly. I like the fact that Natasha Akpabio did not give up even when the National Assembly security tried to stop her. She never gave up. She pushed forward. You can see Randy Peter, you know, Aisha Yesufu and Mama P are the ones going all out with her and other good Nigerians. And one of the questions Aisha Yesufu asked them was, are you proud, you Nigerians? From your faces, you know that this is an injustice. You know, Mama P asked them a question. She said to the police officers, do not allow yourselves to be used. You see, the life we live is a very, very strange place where you think that, oh, because today you are up there, you can look at other people down with so much disrespect. You don't know when your own turn will come. And I like the fact that she walked into this place because she has outsmarted Akpabio a couple of times and she's doing it again. They told her not to come. The reasons being that they've appealed the judgment. Yet, these people said the judgment was not in favor of Natasha. Okay, if we've got a judgment that is not in favor of Natasha, how come you're stopping her? She walked by foot into the complex. The judgment has been appealed not by the institution called the Senate, but by Akpabio. So it's a whole lot of misrepresentation. If you ask me, if I were this judge for misrepresenting what the judgment has been, they should find Akpabio. Akpabio is vindictive and is using public office to do this to people, denying the Kogi people. If I were the Kogi people, they should go and mount National Assembly. At least if they stay there for 1 month, Akpabio would do the needful. You see, Akpabio can bribe the whole world, but he can never bribe God. He can bribe the whole world. I'm saying that not because the whole world will take bribe from him, but he can never bribe God. This Natasha you are seeing today is fighting not just for herself and her constituency, but she's also fighting for the girl child in Nigeria. Because you see, the reason why most you go to different places and see that women are not many is because they keep shutting up women. And some women will say, oh, I am old, I don't want my child to suffer, oh, my children to suffer. So they keep quiet and allow themselves to be used. But Natasha has gone out here to fight for the girl child in Nigeria, in Africa at large. Nigerians, speak up now. It's important.